It's time to go live on YouTube. It's time to go live on YouTube. We're going to start off with the theme of the show for Hafeman Bro and Bro and Bro and Bro and Bro. Here it is for you, Mr. Aaron Jones and his 10K wave. This is the man that our show will be based on tonight, Mr. Aaron Jones, the fuel for the Packers offense, the difference maker of difference makers, beyond. I know that we like to talk about 12 and 17 and 12 and 17, and I love Aaron Rodgers, but this man right here is the man. And if the Packers have any dollars, they better sign him to a couple-year extension. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah.
Why are N? Why are N to signing Aaron Jones? It's the letter Y or the letter N. That's texting for yes or no. It's a shortened version of a 3-letter word and a 2-letter word.
And another 2-letter word.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't worry about that. It's you don't have to worry. That's implied. Most people understand that. Talk about Aaron Jones, man. And then you'll give some videos, Aaron Jones, a little while. How you doing tonight? Better than Tuesday?
Nope.
Come on. I guarantee everybody it's going to be a better show than Tuesday. And
I can't do that. I can't guarantee.
that's not true. Come on.
I did shave my white beard though yesterday.
Hey, there you go. That's it.
'Cause
We got some good
sick of look-
stuff.
I was sick of looking at my white beard. I was like, nah, I can't do that anymore.
Holy cow. YouTube has got a new feature, new pin chat. You can now pin a message to the top of your live chat for viewers to read. Click any message to pin it. Use the options menu to unpin. Thank you, YouTube, for continuing to make your platform improved over and over. We need more. I guess cheers to you, my friend. Rick says, why? Sign Aaron Jones. Should we start with the bad news after that? Let's get to the bad news. Ready? Ekis already brought it up. We're going to do another little screen share here because it's a sad day for Packers fans who remember this man right here. We lost another Packer great today. The Golden Boy. Mid-century football's Golden Boy died today at 84. So, I didn't realize he was a quarterback in Notre Dame. I didn't remember that. But again, I wasn't alive in the 50s. So,
and a kicker.
But Lombardi had him as a running back, and that worked out pretty good. But, yep, says dazzling play at Notre Dame, Hall of Fame career with the Packers, matinee idol looks, and a Playboy image made him a national celebrity in the 50s and 60s.
Wow.
Paul Horning lived to 84. Toast to you, my friend. I lost a lot of Packer legends the last couple of years. It sucks.
Well, this is about the. I
know they're all getting in their 80s and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is about where it happens. You got to think that those guys lasted as long as they did, though, with all the. They didn't have as much. Taking care of the body type stuff that the NFL has nowadays. So they probably got beat up a heck of a lot more. Plus, they played on like ice a couple times.
Yeah, I know.
Like you get tackled on ice. Yikes. Yeah. So, that's good. But it's it's gonna happen. But it's whatever. I mean, how many Hall of Famers though are from the 60s teams?
There's a lot.
There's like 13 or 14. I don't even know how many dudes there are. There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. And I mean, recent deaths with, Chris Herb Adderley just a couple weeks ago. And then you had, Bart Starr and and Dave Robinson passed too, not that long ago. So, and then there's been some other guys in there too. It's rough. I mean, especially for fans that are still around that remember those '60s teams and stuff. I mean, that's difficult, but a lot of great players there, a lot of great representation of the Packers. Bunch of the guys that are, names are on the circle though in the stadium. Um, Lost a lot of them here. The cool part was, and to be honest, I think that's one of the unique things about the Packers because the tradition is so great, and the team's been around so long, and all that stuff. Hey, Bernard, how you doing? We're just reminiscing a little bit about Packers loss because of the death of Paul Horning today. Um, but the cool thing is the Packers made a big effort. I think it was Bob Harlan that started that, which was reconnecting with all the past Packers, all the former guys, and bringing them back, and doing events with them and getting those guys involved. And, um, you know, like they were, as the Packer alumni, but they brought those legendary guys back and got them in. And the one other nice part about all that is that those guys didn't make much money when they played. It's not like today where these guys that have been playing for the last 20, 30 years make a boatload of money playing football. Those guys played football for the love of it. They didn't make a heck of a lot of money. But with these appearances for the team and Packer alumni events and signings and all this stuff, they got some money from the organization late in their lives, which was pretty sweet and pretty cool and well deserved. So all those things were good things. I kind of think back to the event I had with Project Home with the Packers tailgate tour, and it was the 10th annual tailgate tour. And what they ended up doing was, I think that was the first year they decided to bring some legendary alumni along. And so, we had kind of like they set it up with three current players. They set it up with three, Packer alumni, and then they had the legendary alumni or the older guys. And so on that bus trip, and two of the guys that came to our site and we got to meet them were Jerry Kramer and Dave Robinson. And that was pretty damn cool. So, you know, good guys. They told some really good stories. We had a couple of Bears fans there. Like one of the guy, my friend Hill, who's in his 60s and remembers some of those teams, and he was ribbing them a little bit about the Bears, but he was also giving them a bunch of compliments and saying how much he appreciated them as players, and they were eating it up. So it was fun. It was fun meeting those guys. Appreciate that experience for sure. But legendary Packers, a lot of them going down, unfortunately, in the last couple of years. But they're all getting their 80s, and that's not many of us make it past that time frame. So that's the way it goes. We do have some good news though for current Packer players. Let me do a little sherry of this. Ben, we'll start off with some good news. How about this? We have an updated injury report. All right, David Bakhtiari no longer injury status. So it looks like he's back. Tyler Irvin no longer injury status. Kevin King is upgraded to questionable. Jair, unfortunately, is doubtful with the concussion and the hand, but mostly the concussion that's probably making him doubtful. So we might have to go this game without Jair, and they're probably not that worried about facing, a second string quarterback on the Jags, and so they're probably going to rest him. But Will Redmond's only questionable, Scott's questionable, Shepard questionable, John Lovett's out, but those other backs are back in the fold, so we should be good. EQ questionable, Tunyon questionable, Ricky Wagner questionable. But all those other guys, I mean, this was a pretty long list for a while, seem to be getting back healthy and coming back. So they should all be ready to go. And it'll be nice for some of them who haven't played in a while to get some playing time in this game and get their feet wet again, because some of them have been out for 3-4 weeks or more. So that's some good news. We've got guys coming back. David Bakhtiari ready to hold people again with his best might. Ho, 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 take that, Viking Mo. The ultimate holder is back. Bakhtiari. No?
Why do you talk like that? That's weird.
It's not weird. It's a tactical advantage. If they're not going to call holding on you, if you do it craftily, then just do it. You're David Bakhtiari, man. Pro Bowl, all pro. Here, this will make you happy. Aaron Jones. So good. All right, show us some video about Aaron Jones, unless somebody else.
Yeah, hey, Eckes is asking if Lazard is back. Is Lazard back?
He's not on the injury report, but he's not back. I don't think he's off of the IR yet.
Well, I know that like I have Nick Chubb in fantasy, and one of the things it says is that he practiced with the team all week, but he's not on the injury report because he's not off our IR yet. So they don't have to disclose anything, I guess, even though he's been practicing with the team all week. So maybe it's the same thing with Lazard. He might actually be able to play, and they just don't have to tell anybody yet.
Oh, okay. Surprise.
Which could be, well, that's what they did with Aaron Jones.
That's an interesting thing about this game. So if you're not wound up yet or you're not ready to talk enough, that's an interesting thing about this game is, and someone asked Rodgers about this. They tried to frame it in like, do you want to send the Jacksonville Jaguars a thank you card because of all these cast-offs they've given the Packers that are actually good players for you and stuff? So because Lazard was on their team and cut, and Irvin was on their team at one point as well and cut, and Mercedes Lewis, of course, they parted ways with him. And then there was one other guy, I can't remember. But so they have like 4 ex-Jaguars on their team currently who all have important roles. And it's pretty wild. The fact that the Jaguars, the 1-7 team, have, so many players that are productive for the Packers. So that's pretty sweet. All those guys get to play one of their former teams. So that's fun. Little extra juice to that.
Well, I mean, the thing is that all those positions, except for running back, but I don't know if they really used Tyler Irvin as a running back or what they did with him. But as far as wide receiver, hey, guess what? The Jaguars actually have a group of pretty dang good receivers. And I don't know if anybody knows this, but with Chark, and they have Cole, and they have Conley, and they have Chenault, the rookie, and they also have Westbrook, who's been injured for all this time. So they have like 5 receivers that are really good on their team. And they're not chumps. Like all of them can have a breakout game at any time. And that's the hardest part about it. Well, you've got Chenault on your fantasy team. I've got Chark on my fantasy team. Mm-hmm. Like every third game, Chark has a 30-point game. And then the rest of them, he doesn't do jack squat. But then like Chenault's going to have a 27-point game. And then the next one, Keelan Cole is going to have a 20-point game. And you know what I mean? Like, so they have a bunch of guys who can produce. And if Packer fans think we're going to just, clamp down and they're not going to move the ball on us and all that kind of, no, the Jaguars have skilled players. They also have Tyler Eifert. They signed him from the Bengals this offseason. So they have a tight end that's been around and produced in this league for a long time. Also, they have O'Shaughnessy as their other tight end, who's a good blocker in the run game and a pretty good player. And then they've got that rookie running back that you have in your fantasy football team, who freaking scores a crap ton of points.
He's been putting up points. He's been productive. I'll tell you that. I mean, for everybody who's looking at the records and saying, the Packers are favored by 13 points and all this nonsense, I don't think this is going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. The only thing I was looking at was the forecast, and there was all this rain that's going to start tomorrow afternoon and then kind of go overnight and into the morning. But it's supposed to taper off and be done by early morning. So that shouldn't be much of a factor. The fields should drain fine. It might be a little sloppy field sort of to get used to at first, but it's not going to be raining through the game. So considering that, it'll be a little chillier, but it's going to be dry. So I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. And I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be, like a 1, 7-10-point game that hopefully the Packers pull it out. But what we've seen from this defense for the Packers and what we've seen, and then you take Jair out of the equation and you're missing one of your best cover guys. I could see the Jaguars moving the ball on these guys and scoring on them plenty. So the Packers are going to have to score plenty to win this game.
Well, that's the other thing is, as you know, in the offseason, I was a big Gardner Minshew guy. I based my whole fantasy football team around him, which was a genius move by me, not. Anyways, and I'd never really watched a whole lot of film on Gardner Minshew, to know what he played like. I just saw all of his interviews and thought he was funny, and that's why I liked him. But watching the games this year with him, he's kind of got Drew Brees complex where he won't throw the ball downfield. He's like he always does dump offs. He holds the ball too long. He tries to, make stuff happen with his, when there's nothing there. And it was weird because I really thought he was better than that. I thought he was because I watched the highlights I did watch in the offseason of him were of him throwing the ball downfield last year. He was making plays last year. And this year he wasn't doing that at all. He was too afraid to throw it down. I don't know what was going on. And then he got hurt or whatever. And then they put this Jake Luton in there or whatever his name is. And it's like first drive, like he has one pass, then his next pass is a 70-yard touchdown that he threw 45 yards in the air and hit Chark for a, big, huge gain. And he was throwing the ball over the place and throwing it downfield. So it's almost worse that Gardner Minshew's out and this other guy's in because this guy, he'll challenge you. He was throwing the ball like, he was doing short passes, but he was also throwing the ball deep and really making. Now it was Houston's defense, which we know is bad because we played them already. And we know they stink, but it was not like this guy takes shots, but he is a rookie. So, maybe we can confuse them on defense if they do some crazy stuff. I don't know. If we don't have Jair, I don't know if we can count on guys to cover those receivers because those receivers are good. So that's one of those things where we're going to have to really, maybe disguise some coverage stuff and see if we can get some turnovers. Like, this would be the game to get some turnovers, obviously.
Yeah,
we've got a rookie quarterback. It's the time to get some turnovers.
It'd be nice. I wonder, you bring up that that's what defensive coordinators like to do, especially guys that like to scheme up some weird, pressures or whatever, is they like to pull all that stuff out, especially against the rookie quarterbacks or younger quarterbacks, try to confuse them and get, cheap turnovers, whatever. And that's fine. Except for this defense, for the longest time, it also seems like when they try to do that, they confuse their own players and then they screw it up. So, and the other thing that has me concerned, now, I'm not a Kevin King fan, but if, let's say he comes back in this game, let's say they're like, okay, Jair's out. We got to get Kevin back. He's doing good enough. And they get him back in there. He hasn't played football in, I don't know, 5-6 weeks or something, right? He's been out a while. And I would assume he's going to be a little bit rusty and a little bit slow and a little bit not game speed. And so you talk about guys taking big shots or big plays. I mean, I'd attack him right away if I was the other team. Because I'm like, this guy's coming off an injury and he's back finally for, he hasn't played football in forever. Yeah, let's go after him right away. So I would expect to see that too.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he got beat for a big play early in the game. I mean, unless Pettin protects him, and calls coverages or zone coverages or do something a little different where they're doubling over the top or doing the 2-shell look, which maybe he should consider. I mean,
but then James Robinson's going to run all over, or whatever. Is that his name, James Robinson?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to run all over him.
They still got to be able to stop the run. They still got to stop the run first, and that's the key. I mean, if they don't stop the run, it's going to be another rough day for the defense. So Eckes thinks Packers by 17. Come on, Eckes. I don't know. I just don't
listen.
I don't know.
Here's something I watched the game today, the last Jaguars game. Okay, I watched 24 minutes of the 45-minute. So it was like the whole first half and first part of the third quarter. And the thing that everybody talks about is how bad the Jaguars defense is. Oh, they're so bad. They give up all these points and they're so bad. They're so bad. They're so bad. And I'm watching the game, and Miles Jack is messing stuff up. And Joe Schobert is a smart guy. And those are your two middle linebackers. You got Josh Allen, who is a good enough pass rusher that they decided to get rid of, to trade Yannick Ngakoue because they didn't, they knew his contract was coming up, so they didn't want to pay him. And they got this other guy, Josh Allen, who was hurt in the beginning of the year. And in the last 2 games, he's got 2.5 sacks, and he's getting pressure on the quarterback. And the corners are playing good. They're covering pretty decent. And I'm watching the game, and I'm like, these guys aren't that bad. Then the Watson, right, from Houston, it's 3rd and 8. He runs to the sideline. Okay, he gets about 7 yards, and he's tiptoeing on the sideline. And Joe Schobert runs over and like just barely touches him. But right when then Watson just steps 1 foot out of bounds, and Schobert barely touches him, and then Watson flops, and that was 3rd down. Boom, penalty flag comes out, and Schobert's like, "You got to be kidding me!" And he's looking around like, "Come on!" And they call it whatever, penalty and unnecessary roughness. 1st down, gave him 15 more yards. They ended up getting 3 points on that drive. Okay. Then at the end of the first half and the second quarter, they only got the ball back. Houston got the ball back with 2 minutes left. Jaguars had a lead at this point. And there was I think it was under a minute left. I don't even know. It was crazy. Watson throws up this ball that wasn't even close to being caught. And the corner is running with the receiver, and he runs like right in front of him, right? He kind of like blocks him in front of him, doesn't touch him with his hands, but just runs in front. He knows what he's looking at the ball. He sees the ball. He knows where it is. He just gets in the way. They call a pass interference on him. It was a 45-yard gain at the end of the freaking half, which they then scored. Houston scored it. They got him inside the freaking 20-yard line, which they then scored a touchdown on. So that's 10 points that were just gifted to him, because that was 3rd down too. Or actually, no, it was just the time when it ran out. I mean, they gave him 45 freaking yards for nothing, right? Then the 3rd quarter comes around, and the play clock goes to 0. Houston has the ball. The Jaguars players are like going like this, yelling at the refs because the play clock's at 0. Like Schobert is like going like this. It's like 3 seconds later, they hike the ball. Then the Jaguars are like, what the? So then they try to play defense, and Watson just chucks it up deep. And Will Fuller catches it, breaks a tackle, and runs in for the end zone for a touchdown. And then Marone is trying to challenge the play, and they're like, it's not a challengeable play. And Marone's like, look at the freaking screen. He's like yelling at the officials. He's like, look at the screen. Look at the play clock. The play clock went to 0, like 2-3 seconds before he even hiked the ball. And they couldn't challenge it. They couldn't change it. So Houston got another free touchdown.
I don't like that. I don't like some of the changes they made to those plays you can't challenge. I think you should be able to challenge PI. I don't know why they took it away. It's dumb. There's been some bad PI, no PI calls or pickup flag calls this year. They should let them challenge it. Let them challenge any play. You only get 2 challenges. That's fine. You want to keep it that way. That's fine. But open it up for the coaches, because plays like that make a big difference.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Crazy. Yeah,
that's ridiculous. When you don't notice the play clock when you're the whole officiating crew.
Yeah.
And it's 3 seconds later, and the Jaguars are like, going like, what the crap? And then Watson just chucks up some ball of Fuller because he's wide open because they weren't playing defense, right? And then they somehow get a touchdown on that play. It was like a freaking 60-yard touchdown. So that's another 7 points. That's 17 points that were gifted to Houston by the officials that the Jaguars defense did not give up, in my opinion. They would not have given up any of those points.
They got a couple,
and they lost by 2 points, by the way.
We got a couple of points to follow up here, Ben. But what you're talking about, there's a couple of things you brought. There's something you brought up I want to come back to. Bernard's got a comment we got to come back to. It's unrelated in a little bit. But Eckes then chimes in with this. He's like, you bring up some good points, Ben, but they're 1-7 for a reason. We better win by 2 scores or more. Eckes, the league, the NFL is like razor thin margin. You know that. I mean, there's so many close games. We went through it last year. Remember how many times we went through last year, all the 1-score games for a bunch of these teams, all the playoff teams, the best teams. There were like almost, I think a bunch of them had at least six 1-score games. Some had 7, some had 8, some had 9. Whether the Seahawks had like 11 or 10 1-score games last year, that they won and stuff. And it's razor thin. The difference between being 6-2 and being 2-6 the complete flip side for the Packers right now is not that much. It's just the way the league is. So you can't take any team for granted. You can't take any team lightly, and you have to acknowledge the stuff that's gone against them because if let's say you don't get those breaks against them, it's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a dogfight. I don't, and especially when your defense hasn't shown they can be dominant at any point this year, no matter what some of the people are saying that this defense is good, and I don't like that either. I want to bring that up here. Is I don't like how now all of a sudden after the Bucks look a little worse, now a bunch of people are Packers are the best team in the NFC. Packers are the best. Why are the Packers the best team in the NFC by a bunch of these national guys now? Because they think they have a defense? Because these guys don't watch the games. They look at their highlight packages. They look at the stats. They see, Zadarius Smith got a couple of sacks and, they got a couple of turnovers in this last game and some other stuff. So the Packers got a great defense. No. Watch the games, dude. And if you don't have time to watch the games, don't bring that take and quit trying to put our Packers up at the top of the mountain in the NFC because that's not where they want to be. And that's where we want them to be. Not as the season's going along. We want them to be there at the end. But if they get up there, then the only place to go is down. So leave them alone. They can be like behind the Saints and the Seahawks and they're not as good as them. Fine. Or the Buccaneers. That's fine. That's fine.
Well, the reason why I bring this stuff up is because I think after watching the 49er game, people are like, thinking that the Jaguars are going to be like the 49ers were, right? They're a team that 1-7, they're not a good team. And the 49ers were all decimated with injury and COVID and all this stuff, and they were not a good team. So everybody's like, okay, we should just blow them out like we blew out the 49ers. Well, the difference is the 49ers were down to River Crankcase or whatever the crap that guy's name was, a wide receiver, and like some guy who
River Crawfish.
Whatever. And Ricky James, who had 190 yards receiving or whatever the heck it was against us, by the way, some random guy.
Yeah.
The Jaguars have Chark, Cole, Conley, Laviska Shenault. That's 4 quality wide receivers. This is not what we faced against the 49ers. And Nick Mullins, when you watch that game, he look at his eyes the whole game. He was like, he looked freaking like he didn't know what was going on. So I don't know what this Jake Luton or whatever his name is looks like, or how I watched the game. He looked good. His arm was active. He's got he can throw it. He can run a little bit. I mean, he's not, Josh Allen or anything like that, but or Justin Herbert, but he's okay. Just don't expect the Packers defense to be able to just rest on what happened last week and think that they're going to be able to do the same type of stuff they did against 49ers because they didn't have to cover anybody. 49ers had nobody. They had a fullback playing wide receiver in the game. They had Juszczyk lining up in the slot. I mean, this is not going to it's not going to be Juszczyk in the slot. It's going to be Laviska Shenault in the slot, who is a 6'1", 227-pound shifty wide receiver with speed and agility. Okay, so just think about that stuff. I hope the Packers are taking it seriously. I'm sure they are, but just don't be surprised if they're moving the ball on us and they're scoring some points on us. That's going to be, and then also the defense of the Jaguars is not as bad as everybody says it is.
Yeah, I want to get to them in a second, but I want to go off of what you just said.
Yeah,
because you're talking about the Packers defense against this team, and something we saw last week against that decimated 49ers team was we saw Savage be more aggressive, and we saw him be closer to the line of scrimmage and in more aggressive positions. Now, are we going to see him not be in those same positions this week because of that difference? And I think the answer is, based on the history, is probably yes. He's probably going to be back 20 yards again because Mike Pettin can't give up any explosive plays, his mandate from Matt LaFleur. And, that's going to take away from the run defense. It's going to take away from, covering the short and intermediate pass as well. And so if the team can put together, disciplined, sustained drives, then they can just keep driving it on you. So I don't know. We'll see. But that's a big difference because remember how we were like, oh, man, Savage looked aggressive in this game. Well, that's probably why. Right? I mean, You're looking at the competition. You're looking at, okay, these receivers don't scare us. Okay, let's bring them up. Let's say, okay, tack the line of scrimmage, Darnell. Oh, now we're facing some other guys that are pretty good. Now we got to back you up again. 20 yards back. Make sure nobody gets behind you. That's kind of what that's what
Well,
I would expect.
I expect what's going to happen is the same thing they always do is, you know, play back, give up a bunch of easy, shorter throws, and pray that this rookie quarterback is going to make a mistake somewhere along the line. But you can't just a guy's not going to make a mistake unless you press the issue. You know what I mean? Unless you're somehow getting pressure on him. I mean, we watched against the 49ers when the Packers got pressure, it was incompleted passes, fumbles, freaking interceptions. Those are all on plays where the Packers defensive line got pressure on. Okay. And that's you have to get the pressure if you want to get the results of turnovers and good things to happen. Quarterback's not going to just throw it to you because he sees you in cover 2 and he's like, oh, I'll throw it to the safety. No, he's not going to do that. So they have to they can't do what they've been doing. To sit back and wait, expecting to make a mistake. This isn't Mitch Trubisky, who you know he's going to make a mistake. This is a guy we don't know what he is. So you can't count on that until you know what he is. But I don't know.
You're feeling a little uneasy.
I think they're going to win. I watched the game today. And before the game, I was kind of like, I was the same way. I was like, oh, Jake. Like, I wasn't even excited about the game because it's another game where no matter what they do, unless they win, if they win by freaking 20 points, then everybody's going to be like, well, they should have won by 20 points, right? If they've just barely squeaked out a victory, they'll be like, well, what happened there? Then if they somehow lose, holy crap. Like, they can't win. There's no way the Packers can win in this week, right? Because nobody expects them to do anything and nobody really gives a crap about this game. And it's hard I bet you for the players to get up for that sort of thing when they know, hey, no matter what we do in this game, no one's going to care. Or even, nothing's going to change. So hopefully LaFleur can get that to him. They're like, hey, guys, we need this win. Another win gives us one step closer to hopefully getting the 1 seed and getting a bye or whatever it is, or getting in the playoffs and having, home field or whatever the crap it is. And then that's all they can do. But
and no fans again. So right. I think that's something interesting, right? I don't know what it is, but it appears from the games so far through 8 games, the defense plays more energized when there's actually fans there. And when without the fans, the defense looks to be lacking energy. I don't know. Even though it was like small amount of fans, those 2 games, they seem to play with more energy from what I could tell. I don't know. And I think that affects the defense more than the offense a little bit because the offense is more like, hey, we're going to execute our stuff. And defense is more reactionary in a way. So on offense, you can kind of challenge yourself to be like, okay, our communication there's no communication challenges when we're on a road game, which is awesome and easier for us. We can just get all our stuff figured out amongst all of ourselves and let's go do what we're supposed to do. And that's what their offense has been doing most of the time this year. Now, I wanted to get back to – I want to handle Bernard's comment real quick, and then I want to come back to the Jaguars and all this stuff. But Bernard says, I'm afraid that if Drew Brees wins another Super Bowl, it'll make Rodgers look bad. Look, man, don't worry about that, Bernard. It's okay. I don't think Drew Brees is going to win another Super Bowl because by the time he gets to the playoffs, his 10-mile-an-hour passes are going to be 5-mile-an-hour passes. And like, if you watch some of the lollipops he threw last week, it took forever to get to the guy when conditions are bad or he's outdoors or he's in, playing tight coverage. The guys are playing like good defense against him. Like if the Buccaneers played defense, the same defensive game plan they played against the Packers against Drew Brees, they would have had a much different result. But they decided to sit back and let him have his way. And that's why they lost. That's why he chewed him up and looked so good. So don't worry so much about Drew Brees. And as Ben said, this is the Packers' year. They got to do it. So it's not going to be Drew Brees winning the Super Bowl this year. It's going to be the Packers winning the Super Bowl this year. And Aaron Rodgers getting a second one with the Packers. So, but we got a little ways to get there. Ben, you said now about the Jaguars. One name you kept bringing up was Joe Schobert, man. And poor Joe Schobert. Played on the Browns, got drafted by the Browns, played on the Browns for all those years, and the Browns are like, We're not gonna. You've been awesome for us. But we're not gonna sign you back. So then he goes to the Jaguars. He's like, all right, I'm with this team, and these poor Wisconsin defensive players that end up on bad teams. It sucks. Schobert's a smart guy though, and he's productive. And you put him together with other speed guys they have on defense. You know, who's the other
Like
linebacker?
Josh Jones.
Oh yeah, oh Josh Jones revenge tour. I forgot about him.
Yep.
Forgot about him. Who's the other guy? Jack, Miles Jack, right?
Yeah, Miles
Another
Jack
linebacker.
is freaking nuts, dude.
So we've talked about teams with speedy linebackers before, right? And
Yep.
how can the Packers deal with teams with speedy linebackers, Ben? How do they do it?
They don't.
No, come on.
They don't deal with it though. That's the problem.
But how should they deal with it?
How should they deal with it?
Yes.
They should double team the defensive line and force the linebacker to choose between a hole and this hole, and then hope to God that Aaron Jones chooses the other one. That's what they should do. Because when you double team the defensive line, what it does is it makes the whole spaces. Just watch the freaking Vikings, dude. It's nuts. It makes the spaces wider. Okay, the holes become bigger because you. And I don't know if anybody really realizes this or what. I don't know what the deal is, but like when the Packers do their sliding, whatever it is, right? And if you miss a guy and he gets penetration, so there's two things. When you double team the defensive lineman, it prevents penetration to get to the backfield, right? Which will stop a running back dead in his shorts, right? But it also allows for larger holes because the guys are bunched together, okay? And it gives the running back more options to go through and that kind of stuff. Plus, if you double team first, and then sometimes you can and then move up to the next level and at least get in the way of the linebacker. But the Packers don't always do that. They like to do the whole sliding thing, which doesn't work half the time. So I don't know.
Well, you said, I mean, we've talked about this with other teams, and what has shown to be effective is just running right at them. You neutralize their speed if you go right at them, like inside running plays. And two, those blocking schemes like you're mentioning, where you get the double, you prevent the penetration, that gives the back more freedom to go where he wants to go. And Jones has got great vision, so he'll find the creases wherever they don't have to be big holes, you know. You just need to get some movement on the big guys and then kind of get in the way a little bit. But I know you have some videos where you show the Packers sometimes struggle at getting in the way, but Aaron Jones still makes it a positive play. We said it after the 49ers game. Aaron Jones equals first downs. Aaron Jones equals first downs. So the key to winning this game is a heavy dose of Aaron Jones. Ben's going to show you why.
All right, here we go. Everybody's favorite segments. Is it working? Can you see it? Yeah? No? I don't know. So here we go.
Yes, we have you. I'm sorry, I muted myself.
This is the second, third, and fourth plays of the game against the 49ers. So not the first one because that was just a little swing pass for 5 yards. It was boring. There was nothing special about that. All right, so this is second down. You look on this play. I've got circled in red. That is the guy who's going to make the tackle on this play. And that is, of course, Fred Warner, who was everywhere in that game.
You've got Fred circled in red.
Yeah, Fred in red. And the Packers couldn't seem to block him, even though they had guys there to block him. They just didn't do a very good job. And Aaron Jones is going to do this little whoop, 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 and run over there. So get ready to watch Aaron Jones. And here's the sad part when you watch it. Look at all that space there. It makes that guy miss, bounces off of that guy. Look at that. And then Fred Warner almost rips his head off. Remember that play? Let's find out why Fred Warner ripped his head off. So on this play, there's this guy over here in red. This defensive lineman over here I circled in red. Both of these guys, Aaron Jones makes miss. So he took care of two guys on the play by himself. One of them he juked. The other one he bounced off of. And the guy he bounced off of was a 300-pound defensive lineman. Over here we got Robert Tonyan doing a good job blocking on this corner on the outside. Here you got Ricky Wagner supposed to be blocking this guy. He does his job. And then right here, we got a good old $10 million Corey Linsley. All he has to do is at least get in the way of Fred Warner. Just get in the way of him. Just a little bit. Come on. But of course, when you watch the video, you see he doesn't do it. Watch Aaron Jones. He jukes this guy. He bounces off this guy. And then look up here. Lindsey.
No.
He just can't get in front of Fred Warner. He's leaning there. He's trying, but he's not athletic enough. And then Aaron Jones.
No, that's not good.
But if that was anybody else, any other Packer running back, that would have been a 3-yard gain. But because it was Aaron Jones, it was an 11-yard gain because he made one guy miss and he bounced off the tackle of the other guy. Now we got another play. This one, right? You got this guy in purple. This is 57. He's the other inside linebacker. I don't know what his number is.
Yeah, Greenlaw, I think. Greenlaw.
Right. Aaron Jones comes up here. He does a crazy move, bounces up here, does a crazy spin move, bounces off Greenlaw, and then goes forward. And then this guy in the red is the guy that's going to end up tackling him. But it's another one where Aaron Jones turns a 3-yard run into an 8-yard run. All because he's Aaron Jones. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. He got 5 more yards or 6 more yards from bouncing off the guy. Now, here's the bad part about the play. Lucas Patrick, Jason's guy, he's supposed to come around and seal this edge.
Hey.
He's supposed to seal this edge and take care of 57. But he totally whiffs on 57. He loses him. By the time he gets over there, he can't find him and misses the block. But as we just noticed, Aaron Jones doesn't matter for Aaron Jones because he is quick and jukey and awesome and worth whatever money they need to. Look at, here's Lucas Patrick. Crap, missed him. Then Aaron Jones is like, sorry, I'm gonna spin off you, and then I'm gonna get another 5 yards.
And he still falls forward after he's tackled.
He still falls forward because he's Aaron Jones.
It's like the weirdest, smallest, best guy at falling forward all the time that I've ever seen. It's so weird. It's crazy. Rodgers talked about him this week a little bit in his interview, talking about how he's so elusive and he doesn't take any big shots and he's so good at avoiding, like contact and stuff. And that's why he does it. Again, he's the complete opposite of Jamal Williams, who, when he's in an open field, looks for somebody to run into. And Jones is like, nah, I'm going to run away from these guys or make them miss me, and stuff. It's crazy. But anyway, continue on.
Okay.
Anyway, one more point. Sorry, you're hitting on my man, Lucas Patrick. That's why he's my man. Because like me, he is imperfect. And sometimes he whiffs. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Now this is a play. This is a screen pass. And when we watch the Packers defense cover screen passes against Dalvin Cook, against Kamara, we watch them all get blocked, missed tackles, all kinds of stuff, right?
Yep.
Well, on this screen pass, which is the 4th play in a row of Aaron Jones on the first drive, Aaron Jones catches it. He's got 2 blockers in front of him. This should have been like a huge gain. Look at that. And then he gets tackled after a 20-yard gain. And why did he get tackled? Well, let's find out, because we'll watch it from this angle and we'll see. What we do see is that Aaron Jones is awesome. All right, here you go. Look at this. There's this guy over here, not even blocked. So Aaron Jones has got to juke him out of his shorts. Now, if these guys here would double team Fred Warner again, then Aaron Jones could do this move and go back out the outside and go crazy. But he goes to the inside, and Fred Warner reads it, and he jumps back out to the inside. Now, listen, I'm not saying that these guys are terrible. I'm just saying Fred Warner is really good middle linebacker. He's fast and awesome, something the Packers don't have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't care about middle linebackers. But don't worry about Aaron Jones on this. Watch Fred Warner. He makes both of these guys miss him because he goes over this way, and then as soon as Aaron Jones jukes this way, Fred Warner jumps back this way. And both Lucas Patrick and Jenkins, who are supposed to be out there blocking on the screen pass, totally whiff on him. Now, Aaron Jones still gets 20 yards because it's Aaron Jones and he's super fast. But look at that. Those guys easily could have stopped him. But they didn't. They just whiffed. And so that's what I'm trying to say. When people are the Packers in history of time do not value running backs. They do not value middle linebackers. These this videos I've just show you how valuable a really good running back can be, especially when he doesn't get the proper blocking he should get, but also the value of a really good middle linebacker who can make the blocking look bad and make the tackle. Because if it wasn't for Fred Warner on 2 of those plays, Aaron Jones would have had, probably 20 more yards, right? So those are just things that I noticed in my video study. I've got to show a couple more here about Aaron Jones real quick. This is at the end of the game. I got to bring it up. At the end of the game, when Dexter Williams got hurt, and then they had to bring Aaron Jones back in again. So on those last couple drives, and it's one of those things where it's like, why did they do that? Well, the reason why is because they had no choice, obviously. But so these are 3 plays where the blocking is just terrible, or whatever the case is, or a guy gets beat, or whatever it is. And it's not Aaron Jones' fault, but what do you expect him to do when he's got no help? And this is what I mean by double teams, because they don't double team block on these. So you're going to see right here. This is Billy Turner. 91 just blew him up. Just blew him up. And gets super penetration 3 yards deep. But that doesn't even stop Aaron Jones. He still gets out of that tackle. But the worst part is over here, MVS is supposed to come in. I think he was supposed to cover the corner or whoever's on the outside. But what happens is the corner and the safety switch spots, because originally the corner was up on him, the safety was deep. And right before the ball got snapped, the safety moved up and the corner bounced back. And then the safety blitzed on a run blitz, and MVS couldn't quite get there to get the block. So because of that, even though Aaron Jones makes 91 miss, the safety comes through and gets him. It's not his fault. But that's kind of what happened. And when you watch from the other angle, you'll see it. It looks way, way worse. But this is the thing that makes no sense to me. So you got a double team block here. You got a double team block here. You got a double team block here. This play is ready to be awesome if just somebody could get a seal over here. But because of this run blitz, or maybe it was a pass blitz or whatever it was, this guy blitzing kind of screwed it up, and then Billy Turner stinks on this play. So you look there, you saw MVS couldn't quite get his guy. And then this guy is if you watch 91, he's got his body turned so that he can keep his long arm and keep so Billy Turner can't get his hands on him. And then he's going to just shove him away. And then watch Aaron Jones make a miss. I mean, that was later. Oh, that's later. I'm sorry. But that was MVS. If MVS would have got his block, that should have been a good play because all those double teams would have been awesome. Oh, this is the one where he screws them. He schools them left and right. Okay.
Mercedes didn't look too good on that last one.
Oh yeah? Well, he looks terrible on this one.
Oh no.
He looks terrible on this one. On this play,
think he's a good leader.
He got single blocks. Okay. Here's your guy, Lucas Patrick. He gets on his guy. Billy Turner moves up here, gets this guy. Sternberger gets over here and blocks this guy. Mercedes, Mr. Blocker Extraordinaire, is supposed to block this defensive end. Okay, I don't know why. I don't know why they don't have a double team and then Billy Turner move up. That's what it should have been. Billy Turner just runs right past them and ignores them. And this guy just schools Big Dog out of his shorts and destroys Aaron Jones. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is the one where this guy comes back. This guy is on block, but that's probably the scheme of the play is that he gets on block. That's just the way. This is the one I was looking at before. Look at that. Oh, my God.
No.
And then watch. Aaron Jones like, noop, doop, 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 see ya. But then the unblocked guy gets him. But that's not Aaron Jones' fault.
He's still going forward. He's still going forward.
I know. He's really good. He's really good.
Dang it.
Bruce is on here. Bruce.
Most backs would have been toast like way back there.
Right. So here's what I talk about. This guy's a free blocker because they're not worried about him because the play's going this way, right?
Right. Yep.
Then you watch Billy Turner just. I mean, he's still way over here, so it's going to be hard for him to get over to get to that guy. So he goes 57, probably like he's supposed to. But Big Dog is doing a defensive end. I got this question mark above him because he doesn't do anything. And it's really sad.
He stands there after and looks like...
Well, it's bad. But watch how he just gets schooled. Like, just schooled. Like, what is he doing? That's the other part. He took off past him. Did you watch how he just like took off? Like he wasn't even looking where the guy was. He ran
Well,
right past him.
I mean, the only thing with that is that maybe Billy Turner was supposed to get the guy on his outside shoulder,
I
and then it's
guess.
because it's an easier block for Lewis to go get that linebacker, than to get that guy that's on the inside as they're kind of flowing out that way. But that's why I don't love
And that's why,
I
yeah,
don't
I don't
love
like it
the
either.
zone blocking scheme anyway. I just don't like it. It's like, okay,
I
I
don't like it
know
either.
I only played like football in high school, but we had guys we were supposed to block. Like, you were assigned to block a certain guy on every running play. And so we did it differently based on, whether there was going to be a trap block or it was straight up man blocking, or you slid down or you collapsed or you did whatever. But there was an assigned player that you were supposed to block in every play. In these stupid zone running things, it's like flow this way and block somebody in front of you. I mean, if not, if that works, if everybody's thinking exactly the same and they're all like, okay, I'm gonna take this guy, yeah, I'm gonna get this guy, or you have enough continuity that you're like, okay, he's going for this guy, and then I'm going up for this guy. But in a play like that, where the guy that's on the line of scrimmage has to be dealt with first, you know what I mean? So somebody has to commit to that guy, and then the other person decides, okay, I saw you commit to that guy, then I'm going to get the linebacker. I still don't like it though. Just tell them, okay, give them an assignment on each play instead of this loosey goosey. Like, I hate it. I don't like it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
especially in the 4 minute, like when they have the lead, just do double blocks, do double team blocks, assignment blocks, so that you can get at least 3-4 yards, right? And keep the chains going. But in this play is exactly the opposite of that, where guys are missing guys. This is where 3 guys block the same guy. If you look here, I've got these yellow lines. You got Lucas Patrick, Billy Turner, and Big Dog all block the same guy. And then they leave Jay Sternberger alone with the defensive end. Jay Sternberger, a receiving tight end, to one-on-one block on a running play against a defensive end. And then Jenkins comes around and he's going to take care of the middle linebacker here. And then these guys have one-on-one blocks. If Big Dog would have double teamed here, that would have been a huge play because Jenkins comes around and seals this guy off. But because that doesn't happen, they triple team one guy. This guy, Jay Sternberger can't handle this guy, and he gets Aaron Jones for like a 4-yard gain or whatever. And it's the fault of that stupid zone scheme. Look at it, all 3 of them. There's 3 guys blocking one guy. Why? And Sternberger can't quite hold his own here. And Jenkins is going to come around and he's going to get one of these 2. If he seals here, Aaron Jones is at least going to be able to have to deal with just this little safety or corner, and he can take care of him.
Oh, this is when Jenkins was out at left tackle by then, so it's Runyon on this one coming up.
Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't matter.
But yeah, same thing. He goes
It was 3
right?
guys blocking one guy.
Yeah.
And it's just dumb. And Aaron Jones still gets 4 yards out of it. But it's like, I mean, look at that. All 3 of them. Why are they all 3 going over there? Why? What is Big Dog doing? That's 3 plays I showed you of Big Dog just either sucking, or doing something dumb. Like, I got to be honest. I don't think Big Dog is nearly as good as everybody says he is at the thing he's supposed to be so great at. And it's starting to scare me a little bit because when you watch the film, you're like, wait a minute, what is going on with this guy? God, and if Sternberger could have just hung on a little bit.
That was a huge play then.
But, and maybe, and he did kind of end up going after Fred Warner at the end, Big Dog. So maybe he was supposed to go to Fred Warner on that play, and then he just kind of helped out with the triple team. I don't know.
That's still really weird. You don't see many triple teams in the NFL. Yeah.
But those are the things I'm watching. So okay, so if these guys can kind of get it together, okay, and start doing what they're supposed to be doing, that's the difference between Aaron Jones and everybody else on the team. Aaron Jones has made, I just showed you the video before and then here, where he should have got killed for a 4-yard loss. He got out of it somehow and made plays. That play, he somehow broke the tackle, or he was getting tackled and still fell forward 3 more yards. And he's he's more than what you think he is. And if he was on a team like the Vikings, he'd be getting just as many yards as Dalvin Cook. I believe that because he's that good. Because Dalvin Cook, you know that he had a 70-yard touchdown the other day, and the stinking the team he's going up, the Lions only had 10 guys on the field on that play. So yeah, of course he's going to have a freaking 70-yard run. We only got 10 guys on the field. It's pretty dumb. Back to you. I'm done for a while.
I mean, Dalvin Cook is good, but he's not. I don't think he's better than Jones, and I don't. Like he's different, but Aaron Jones is different than everybody. We talked about that back in, when they were doing those running back comparisons. We talked about it back when they were doing the NFL Top 100. We talked about it a number of times. What he does is as effective as anybody. It just looks a little different, and it's not as jaw dropping in the way he cuts because he does that weird like cuts off the wrong foot, leans and changes direction off of the inside foot instead of the outside foot for a sharp cut, but it still makes people miss. And he does it without losing acceleration, which nobody else does. Everybody else, when they're breaking those guys down and making those big moves, they drop their acceleration, their speed, and then they have to re-accelerate again. So, yeah, I mean, Aaron Jones he's the key cog to this offense. He is Aaron Jones equals first downs. Aaron Jones equals productive and successful offense. So like you've said a bunch of times, keep him on the field. Bernard says, in terms of the defense, that we should have got a run stopper. Bruce is here. Hey, Bruce, how you doing? But Bernard says we should have got a run stopper. Yes, we should have got a run stopper. We could have tried in the draft. We could have tried in free agency. We did nothing, so we are where we are. But as we've showed, Bernard, and as the Packers have shown here in recent weeks, between certain guys, as long as they're keeping them rotating, I think those guys are good, can be, I'm not going to say good, that's the wrong word. They can be effective enough between Lowry and Lancaster. And then Kiki's the one that kind of sticks out. And you've been talking about Kiki for a while. And you said that to me before we started the show that, hey, guess what? Now all of a sudden everybody's saying Kiki's good and like doing videos on Kiki. And I've been doing videos on Kiki for a month or whatever. So again, it just goes to show you, like on our show, we know what we're talking about. We tell you the stuff before other people notice it because they're all enamored by the stuff that I guess everybody thinks is supposed to be the way it is, but we actually view the game for what it is and tell you the truth, tell you our observations. So, but some other people will be like, Zadarius Smith is awesome. He's having a Pro Bowl season.
Funny you should be talking about defense because now I got defensive plays for you.
Woo-hoo!
All right, so
there were some comments about the defense, but I didn't catch them all before you jumped.
All right, what do you
got? Somebody said something about Mike Pettin and
three-man rush.
What is Mike Pettin? I can't see it. Are you on the?
He said he needs to stop doing a three-man rush.
Oh yeah, that's true. Three-man rush is because they don't cover anybody anyway when they're out there. So why the hell you like put some pressure on them?
Hey, I want you to watch these two next play. These are
all right. Let's see.
2nd and 16 and 3rd and 16, which was the interception. Was 3rd and 16. But the reason why the 3rd and 16 happened was because of this 2nd and 16 play. Now I want you to look down here. I got this circled. This is Josh Jackson on that Ricky James guy. Okay.
Hey, Josh Jackson is getting big, by the way. He got to have a media appearance this week.
Really?
Little Joshy Jackson, who couldn't even see the field last year.
Well, I'm telling you right now, he's awesome on this play. And then also I got Gary. This is Rashawn Gary who gets the pressure in the green arrow here from this side. But when you watch Mullins, he gets the ball. He looks here. He looks to Ricky James. And
who wouldn't look to Rick James, man? Rick James was a star.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
I'm Rich James. Yeah. But here's the thing. All the other secondary guys are playing zone, I guess, or something. And Josh Jackson's playing man. I don't know. He's playing bump and run man. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm glad he did it because that's where Mullins looked, and he wouldn't throw the ball because he had that tight coverage. Look at, he's all over him. Then look at this. This guy open. If he would have looked over there, would have been a completion. This guy There's not even anyone near him. He
Oh
could have
my
just.
God. I thought there was somebody. I thought that was a Packer guy. There's nobody there.
No, there's nobody here.
Oh, man.
So, and you got 1, 2, 3 Packers. So if you would have, and there's three 49ers here, here, and here. Okay. But luckily for us, Mullins looks here to Josh Jackson, who played bump and run coverage. And as soon as and Jackson sticks with him, and he's kind of all over him like he usually is. But it's second down instead of third down. On third down, he probably would have been called for pass interference on that or defensive holding or something. And he's not like grabbing him. He's just sticking with him, right? And then right when Mullins, he's like, okay, I can't throw it there. Then he goes back to his probably second read, which is probably this guy or whatever it is. And as soon as he does that, Gary has already beat his guy to the inside and he's in his face and he has to throw it and it ends up being incompletion. And it's a really good play. So it's Josh Jackson's coverage, Gary's pressure that made this play. So I just wanted to show it because it's kind of cool. Like, look at it. Josh Jackson's on that guy. He's on him 100%. And Gary gets the pressure, and then the ball's thrown a little bit out of the way and a little bit off target. So now what you want to do is you want to watch Gary on this play. You can see him. He's right here. And he's got kind of a double team, but I think this guard doesn't know what to do. If he should help here or if he should help here, and I think he doesn't do either. But if you look up here, you can see Josh Jackson holding his own up here, and then Barnes is pointing for some reason. I don't know why. Okay. Look at it. Gary, boom, beats a double team, gets his hand up, and it was fast. That's why I didn't want to slow that down because I wanted you to see. I want to watch that again. God dang it. Just how fast Gary was on that play. Dude, Gary was fast in that play. Watch how fast he is on this pressure. And he beats a double team. Inside, outside, boom.
Nice.
I mean, come on.
He's opening the door. He's opening the door for them to part ways with Preston Smith like Bruce wants. Save some money.
Well, Preston Smith is the guy who made the next play, right?
I know, but
then that's what we're going to look at here.
Next year, there's no way they're keeping all three of those guys.
They can't. They can't afford all three.
So they got to make hay now. Let's go.
So Preston's going to get the pressure. He just schools this guy right away. Boom. Look at that. Swim move all around. Mullins has got no chance. Then he thinks he's going to throw it, and then that's when he gets the wobbly duck, and Raven Green picks him off.
I like to call that pass the Tom Brady right there. That's what I like to call it.
You and your Tom Brady hate.
Oh, come on. He was so bad. Come on. So bad. So bad.
All right, watch Preston on this play.
I know.
Yeah, I also watched Gary do nothing. Or not Gary, Z. Why do I shouldn't be so mean about Z.
Z got blocked by a guard by himself.
He got blocked by a guard. Yes, I know.
Pro Bowl Z got blocked by a guard all by himself. Oh, man.
So there's that. And you're like, hey, you know what? That's pretty cool. I like to show. I mean, think about that. It wouldn't have been 3rd and 16 if it wasn't for the 2nd and 16 play that those two guys made, right? So sometimes, the big credit will go, everybody be like, oh, Raven Green got the pick off of Preston's pressure. Wah, 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 wah. And it was awesome. Don't get me wrong. But when you watch Josh Jackson with the bump man coverage all the way downfield and Gary with the quick split the double team, that's pretty awesome. That's some awesome stuff.
You know what that was? That was a Josh Jackson audible. Mike Pettin really called a soft zone on that play.
Probably.
He's like, you should be 10 yards off like everybody else. And Josh Jackson's like, screw that, man. I'm covering this guy.
I hope he does that because he's the smartest guy on the team if he is doing that.
That was a Josh Jackson audible. I like the players calling their own plays when it's a stupid play call. Hey, I got to get to this comment because Bruce said Barnes has a lot to learn. But actually, when I glanced at it, I thought he said Bruce has a lot to learn.
Bruce does have a lot to learn.
Oh, man. But I'm telling you, that must be it. Josh Jackson called his own audible on that play. Because Pettin called another soft zone to give up 12 yards on a 2nd and 16, so it could be a 3rd and 3 or maybe a first down after they don't tackle the guy right away. And he's like, screw that. I'm playing tough. I'm playing bump and run, baby. Because I'm Josh Jackson. I didn't get to play for like a whole year. I'm a 2nd round pick. I'm playing football.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I mean, he's got to play for another year. He's still gonna be under contract for one more year, right?
Yeah. He was 18 draft. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, man, he's got to play. He's going to be the man next year. No more Kevin Kingsies. He'll be gone. All right. Oh, Bruce says he does have a lot to learn too. All right. Well, that's good stuff, Ben. I like it. We're just saying, as we're kind of getting back around, wrap this up. As we're talking about the Jaguars, is just because they're 1-7. Don't sit here and get like the stupid people in Vegas and think it's going to be a big blowout and an easy game. I don't think it is. Mom also says that right now it's supposed to be blustery again. 40-mile-an-hour winds again or some craziness like it was last time the Packers played at home, and that sucks. I mean, it sucks to throw the ball in that. So then you're talking about even a more emphasis on the running game.
I got 2 more good videos to show.
All right. Yeah, no, that's fine. You can show us a couple more videos. Go for it.
Uh-oh. Bernard's talking about Brett Favre again.
Oh, well, because he was on. Did you see he was on his first ever appearance on First Take?
And Stephen A. was like, "Oh, Brett Favre, you're just like you're 2 for 2. You say all the right stuff," and it's like, oh,
yeah. I mean, that was fine. I guess the thing that struck me the most is like, this is Brett Favre, who has made millions and millions and millions of dollars. He's going on a First Take show, and he's basically just using, he doesn't even buy a cheap $20 headset like this. He's just going off of his device with in what sounded like a freaking echo chamber. Like, so the sound is terrible. I'm like, dude,
hey,
you couldn't get some earbuds like all the other guys or something to improve your audio. And they're trying to like talk to, I mean, you're going on a national show. I don't know, whatever. And then of course he didn't really say anything of any value. He like sidestepped a bunch of stuff and just said Brett Favre stuff, and Stephen A agreed with him, and it was just some softballs and whatever. It's fine, except, you know, come on, man. You got billions and billions of dollars, get a headset or a microphone or something so you're not so echoey. So,
yeah, that'd be good.
All right, continue on.
Don't be so mean to Brett Favre.
Stop it. I'm not being mean. I'm just saying, come on.
Brett Favre is my 5th favorite Packer quarterback of all time.
Oh, all time. I thought you were going to say
4th favorite. I like 6th favorite. I like Blair Keel better.
I thought you were going to say the 80s and 90s.
Oh. No. All right. I want you to watch this play.
Anthony Dilwig wasn't that bad.
He's not that good. All right. So here, look at this. It's 1st and 10. And all 4 of these guys are playing a deep zone.
All right.
Okay. Quarters coverage. They all go backwards at the snap on 1st and 10.
All right. I hate that play already. I don't like it.
Well, here's the best part. Look at this route. These are the route combinations. This guy's going to do this weird thing where he comes around, then he comes back around like this. This guy is going to do an in route like this. This guy's going to go like this and then come back out like this.
So they're all going to be open? Is that what you're saying?
Well, what happens is these 2 linebackers have to somehow cover all 3. And they do a good job of sticking with them, by the way. And luckily for us, Kingsley Keke destroys his dudes in front of him and gets awesome pressure. But don't watch Kingsley Keke on this. Just watch the 2 linebackers and watch how they try to cover 3 guys at once between the 2 of them. Look at that. Did you see that switch? Actually, that's Garvin. Garvin did that awesome switch. That was
Garvin? I thought that was Preston Smith.
No. Preston Smith couldn't do that. Are you kidding me?
He's wearing the long towel. I thought it was P. Smith, man.
No, it's Garvin.
Okay, you're right. No, that's is that Ramsey? I think that's Ramsey.
Oh, Ramsey? I don't know.
Yeah, 56 is Ramsey.
That
makes more sense.
God dang it, I want to see that again.
That's 56. That's Ramsey.
But anyways, watch him. Look at him. He takes this guy, switches off, takes that guy. It's nuts.
Nice.
It's nuts. I don't know what he's doing. But luckily he did it because that's where Mullins was looking. Now watch Keke on this play. Watch him.
Play basketball.
Watch Keke. He does a juke move inside and then all the way around. Wow.
Woo! Beats the double team.
Dude.
Kingsley
That was
Keke.
so sweet.
Man.
He is the man.
They should have paid Kingsley Keke all that Kenny Clark money.
That's the same guy on the last play we just watched that Zadarius Smith did nothing to, by the way. The exact same player.
Oh.
And Kingsley Kiki did a juke move around, and then also had to split the back who came to help cover too. So, just saying, maybe Kingsley Kiki is a little better than everybody thinks he is. And I'm excited for him. I think he is really, really, really been playing great over the last 3-4 games. And it's a shame that nobody knew about it until now. Because now all of a sudden Larry McCarron is talking about it. But hey, whatever.
They should have gave him all the Kenny Clark money. Lock him
All right.
up. Lock him up.
I got one more video to show you. This is the 3rd down and 10.
All right.
That leads to the 4th and 1. And then we'll watch the 4th and 1 play.
Okay.
Is it showing yet?
Then we got final scores and we out.
Yeah.
End a little early tonight.
All right. You got it? Are we good?
We're good. Let's go.
All right. So if you look here, this is a screen pass again. Okay. And instead of Kingsley Kiki and somebody else over here, it's Dumb and Dumber again. But I'm switching it. It's no longer dumb. Zadarius is not dumb, and Gary is dumber. Gary is dumb, and Zadarius is dumber. Okay. Zadarius is definitely dumber than Gary.
Pro Bowl, Zadarius Smith.
Okay.
Aww.
Now, on this play,
God dang it.
Gary. Now, the last time, though, Gary, the guy blocked him, right? And he didn't come off his block. It was the 2 guys that were covering Z to let him go on the game before against the Vikings. This one, Gary's guy lets him go, and Gary realizes it and turns around and beelines and makes a tackle to stop him from getting the first down. Okay? He's the guy who stopped the play, which then led to a 4th and 1, which then the Packers stopped, right? Because Summers went and made the play on that, right?
Oh, that was the play that ended my rage.
Yes, that's what I want to show you.
Okay.
But it would never happen if it wasn't for Gary hustling and making the tackle.
God dang it.
And only giving up 9 yards instead of giving up the first down.
I like hustle.
But I want you to watch him on this play. Watch him hustle. You'll see how the guy lets him go, and he's like, wait a minute, that ain't good. And then he hustles him down, hustles, boom, makes a tackle. And it's all Gary. Because everybody else got blocked.
I want to watch Zadarius Smith again.
Okay, that's why I circled him. Now watch Zadarius. He's already holding his side. He's already tired.
His ankle hurts.
First of all, Gary gets penetration 3 feet or 3 yards deeper than Zadarius. And he still turns around and gets 3 yards past him on the pursuit somehow, by the way, on this play. Watch those two. Watch Zadarius and watch Preston just look like a speed demon past him.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Why does Zadarius play so much? I mean,
I don't know.
If his
he's
ankle's
hurt,
bothering
why is
him,
he playing him? Right.
Right. If his ankle's bothering him and all that stuff, like it's fine if he's like, I can play, but give him some rest because I don't know.
And then this is the last video I want to show. These are all positive defensive plays. Ty Summers just attacks. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this line. You got a tight end. You got the left tackle, right tackle, right guard, center, left guard, left tackle. Okay. And who do we got? Kenny Clark.
What is this?
You got six guys to block Kenny Clark. Well, they're not set. You got all these guys standing around. You got Savage standing over here. You got Sullivan. You got Raven Green. You got Amos. What are they doing? It's 4th and 1.
4th and 1. Look at those defensive backs. How are they going to stop anybody from getting a yard? Know. What the?
Zadarius is over here. Preston was hanging out with him over here. I don't know what's going on. So Preston's like, crap, I got to get to the other side. So Preston starts running. They're ready to go. The 49ers are ready to go now. And the Packers are not even anywhere near this. This is 11 against 2 on this play. And somehow the 2 win. And you know how they win? Right here. Kenny Clark makes his money in this play. We got a big fat number 1 green right here. That's Kenny Clark. He takes out not 1, not 2, but 3 49ers offensive linemen. He just dives as low as he can, takes all those guys out, and then Summers does something really cool. He actually hides right behind Kenny Clark so that nobody gets on him, and then jumps and freaking smacks Mullins because he had nobody covering him, right, to block him. And luckily, Zadarius does get over here so that this guy thinks he has to go and block Zadarius, but he shouldn't have. He should have tried to get Summers, but he didn't. It's a great play. Kenny Clark makes this. Kenny Clark and Summers make this play, but look at how unprepared they are for this. 4th and 1. What are you guys doing? It's crazy. but it's a beautiful play by Kenny Clark. Look at him. Look at that. And you watch how Summers just sat right behind him and waited, and then as soon as he got down, boom, smacked him. 2 guys made that play. 2 guys against 11 because the other guys were not ready to go. And that just shows you how attacking wins. 2 guys attacked on that play against 11 freaking 49ers, and the 2 guys that attacked won the play. How many times do we watch the Packers with 11 guys and they're all like backing up and we're not worried, and playing passive, and nobody makes a play? And then we've seen plays I've showed you already where Josh Jackson, what's he doing? He's playing man-to-man, bump and run coverage. And then Gary attacks, splits a double team, gets pressure, boom, right? Those 2 guys made that play. The other one, Kingsley Keke, when he schooled his guy left and right, and the 2 linebackers tried to cover 3 guys, and they did a pretty good job sticking with it. They stayed with their guy. They moved from 1 to 1 and did the thing. That's how you win, not by backing up and being ding-dongs. They had no business winning that 4th and 1. No business.
Right? They should. That was terrible. I mean, you showed that. I remember them not being ready on that play, but I did not realize they were. I mean, those 4 defensive backs with nobody to cover were standing 6-7 yards off the ball, all in a line, just waiting. And then you had the line. Z's not in position. Gary's not in position. Preston's running across the other side because there's nobody over there. Like, what is going on?
I'm just saying.
But you're right.
I believe Ty Summers is a better player at this point for this team, than Barnes is. Barnes is too passive. I've seen him be way too passive at times. And Summers, yes, he misses tackles every now and again. But at least he's in the right position to make a play more often than not. And I don't understand why they just refuse to play him. They'll play Martin, they'll play Barnes, they'll play Kirksey when he comes back before Summers, and Summers will just be a special teams player, even though he attacks. It makes no sense. It's the same thing as playing Redmond instead of playing Black or Raven Green. Play Black and Raven Green. Those guys attack, right? Play Scott. At least sometimes he misses tackles and he's not the best in coverage, but he at least attacks when the guy catches the ball, where Redmond is passive. And it's the same type of stuff that we see over and over again, and they just refuse to do things. And then why did Kingsley Keke, he was like, I don't think he played that many snaps in this past game.
That's what you're saying.
They need him to play more. I mean, he always gets penetration. He always is like holding his own on running plays. I mean, last week he did so good, he outran the freaking play. Remember on the big Cook run I showed you? But it's I don't know what the deal is with Pettin or who's choosing to play these guys and when they play them.
Right.
But if Z is hurt and he can't move, don't have him in there.
Yeah, they
let him sit out a couple plays or sit out for a game or what. I don't know.
Well, they're resting all these other guys all the time. Like, he's clearly had something with his ankle or something.
Yeah, he's not the same player.
The whole year.
Last year.
The whole year. Yet he's been playing heavy snaps the whole year. Like I don't understand, why. I mean, I guess I just don't get it. I mean, I know. I don't know. I don't understand it, especially because he's clearly not nearly as effective as he was last year.
Well, I just wanted to show. These are the things that the videos I've showed today are the things that are making me a little bit happier, to be honest. A little bit more like we've got guys on this team who are able to do some things and are able to like make some plays, but they're not on the field enough right now on defense, and they need to be. And then on offense, Aaron Jones shows how valuable he is because even when he's not getting proper blocking, he can still produce and he can still move the chains and or score touchdowns on drive. He's like you said, Aaron Jones equals points. When he's in the game, he equals points. And when he's not, I don't know what you're doing.
Well, it's like you said. You said that before. Are they going to play the right guys? I mean, do they have all the pieces of a perfect team? No. But
no.
Do they have some players that can be more effective than some of the guys that have been playing? It appears so. So play the right guys. and don't have Aaron Jones off the field for long periods of time, or a whole drive or anything like that, or a whole series or whatever. It's like you need him on the field, and just like you need to realize who's being productive and who's not being productive in your pass rush, on your defensive line, from your linebacker positions, and from your safeties. Like, and play the guys that are more productive and more active. I I mean, sometimes sometimes I think I don't know the personnel decisions. I don't we don't know all the ins and outs of that, or who makes all those calls, or why, or whatever. But the coaches look at the same tape and the same game we do. So, I mean, come on, man. Some guys make plays. Some guys seem to just stand around and don't do much. Who do you want playing football on your team? I want the guy that does something.
Yep.
I don't know.
Well, it's I'm ready to watch some football, but like I said, I'm not very excited about this Jaguars game because no matter what they do, people are not going to give them any credit for it.
That's
If they
okay.
win by a lot, they're like they're supposed to. If they barely win, they're like, "What the heck were they doing?" If they lose, well, then they're going to be just ridiculed. So, but who do they play the week after this? Colts, right? I think.
I thought it was the first Bears game, but maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, maybe it is. I don't remember. I don't know. I know the Colts are in there somewhere, and the Bears are in there, and the Eagles are in there.
If you
Those
talk
are
for
the
a second,
extreme.
I can figure it out.
But it's one of those things where, because I just watched that Colts game last night, and
It is the Colts. You're right.
okay, I watched the Colts last night, and holy crap, their defense is pretty good, and
They got the maniac. When he's healthy, he's great.
they also have their
hurt all the
offensive
time.
line was not that great. I was surprised. Like,
What?
yeah,
Nelson, the master offensive guard of all time.
He was kind of stinking it up last night.
Oh, all right.
And Philip Rivers has got the ugliest freaking wobbly.
He's got old balls.
Noodle arm ball in the history of time. Like oh my god, is it ugly? He can't pass.
He's got old balls, man.
But they still won. But anyways,
I'm also disappointed.
But I don't want to look ahead
with my fantasy, because Jonathan Taylor's on the outs now because he doesn't.
Yeah, he is.
God dang it!
I put a waiver claim in for the other guy, Hines. That guy was nuts. He looked really good. He kind of looks like Aaron Jones.
All right.
Yeah.
Who does Philip Rivers look like?
He looks like Ben Roethlisberger, but with Drew Brees' arm. It's not a good look. It's really bad.
Old man Phil. He's got some floaty balls. Well, all right. Here we go with the Packers. Finally, we get to watch football again on Sunday.
So, okay. So what's your score? You gonna say a score?
Score. Other people are giving scores before. Let's see what they said. Everybody is predicting Packers to win.
Ooh, Bernard says it's a close one.
34-31.
I don't know.
Bernard 34-31. Bruce thought it was 31 Packers. Jags 23. I don't know. 40-mile-an-hour winds can definitely slow the Packers passing game down a little bit. But we'll just have to see. I hope the players can adjust to a little bit of a wet field, because it's going to get some rain overnight and all that jazz. So hopefully they wear the right cleats right away and aren't falling down.
Yeah, I know.
They do sometimes. I don't know why, but it's like, I love how they come out and test the field out and do all this stuff, and then they come out and play, and then they fall down. It's like, I mean, you guys had all the access to this field this whole time. Just really run like you're going to in the game, and if you slip and fall, put on some different cleats. Like, come on. Anyway, hopefully they get all that figured out, and it's Packers review. I'm gonna say Packers 38, Jaguars 31.
Whoa.
So I'm close to your score, Bernard, but I think Packers are gonna get a little extra scoring in there. They're gonna score.
Job.
They're gonna score 5 touchdowns and 1 Mason Crosby field goal.
I think because of the wind, there's going to be more emphasis on the ground game. And I think it's going to be 27-21 Packers.
Ooh, all right. Well, we hope so. We hope so for the Packers. It's going to be a good game. I'm excited.
I think the Packers will be up like 27-14 or 27-7, and then they'll give up 2 touchdowns at the end just because they have a big lead and they'll just give it up.
Hope not.
but they'll win.
They better win. Better win. I want to see a little Tim Boyle time. That would be nice, but probably not. We'll see.
I want to see a lot of Aaron Jones time.
Yeah. Showtime 33.
I want to see some Robert Tonyan time.
Showtime 33. Bobby Tunyon. Was Tunyon the other guy that was in Jaguars too? It's at one point. I think he might have been.
I thought he was a Lion.
I got to go back and look.
I think he was a Lion. I think he was.
I got to check my Tunyon facts. I used to know them all, but I'm getting a little distracted with other things. So,
yeah,
hey, I'm going to close on one quick nice note. We I did the radiothon on Wednesday, Veterans Day, for this program that I started at Project Home. That's all for military vets. And thanks to a bunch of people chipping in and other people helping out, and then some friends I had. It's a big grant that we got of $10,000 from Allstate Foundation. We raised over $26,000 for the program for vets. So I was pretty stoked about that.
You did that on Wednesday?
Yep.
You raised all that money on one day?
I mean, I had to do some work beforehand to get some of that stuff figured out. But over this year, I had like 12. I had about half of that coming in that I knew was going to be there. The rest I didn't know. And it's a weird year. I didn't know how people are going to react, but we had we set a record with 120 donors, 121 now, total donors, and $26,408 so far.
Wow.
It's a good day.
We should do a Ben-a-thon so people can donate to me.
It was good.
I'm not going to do anything special with it, just have money. What do you think? Do a Hafeman Brothers Ben-a-thon?
No, you can't do a GoFundMe for no reason, dude.
Why not? I just want money. Give me money.
Yeah, you got to have something that you're going to do with it or something. You got to
I'll spend it on myself.
No, that's not good. That's not good enough.
I'll buy a new car. What do you think?
Not good enough.
I'll buy a 71 Chevy Nova and paint it pink.
Not good enough, bro. Sorry, man. Anyway, it was a good day. It was a good day. I do have, there's a couple of clips out there. If you go to Q106.com, they had a couple of clips from the day. One late in the day when I was really, it was a long day and I was kind of getting a little emotional, and I got pretty emotional talking about grandpa and stuff. So that one's a good one. And then there's some other ones from some other people that we talked about. They played country music between the times we talked. So that's where some people wouldn't necessarily want to listen, but other people did. Oh, how did I almost forget? I talked about your son like a million times during that radiothon because
my son?
Yeah, because there was one auction item. They tried to get all these auction items, the radio station did, and they couldn't get that many. They got one. And the one auction item was a limited edition autographed Taylor Swift guitar. And I remember how much Grant loved Taylor Swift. I don't know if he still does.
I don't know if he does anymore.
Love Taylor Swift. Like love Taylor Swift. And so when they started talking about this auction item, the Taylor Swift guitar, I was like, somebody's got to bid on this guitar because my nephew's got to go to college. And if you don't get this bid up high enough, he's going to spend a bunch of his college tuition money trying to get this Taylor Swift guitar. So please help Grant, this young man, save his money for college and not spend it on this Taylor Swift guitar. And I kept saying that like every time we talked about the guitar. I brought up Grant's name a whole bunch of times. It was fun.
Oh, hey. He's out partying right now. No, he's not. He's at a friend's house, though, doing something.
Yep, they're listening to Taylor Swift. All right, Bernard says, let's beat those Jaguars. Beat the Jaguars. Anyways, good day Wednesday. Q106.com or my Facebook if you want to check any of that stuff out. Then go Pack Go, right?
Yep.
All right, everybody. Peace out. Have a good weekend. We'll go for a good game Sunday. It's a nooner. So that'll be a good time to watch football. Stay safe. Stay well. Avoid this craziness that's going on out there. Just take care of yourselves. Respect the virus. Respect each other. And respect yourself. RESP.
That's a Bruce Willis song. Remember that song?
That's a terrible song.
It is terrible.
That's what we're going to start our next show with. Bruce Willis singing his one
Respect yourself. Nah, 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 nah. Respect yourself. Hey, hey, hey. Oh no, wait! I just turned into something else.
You did. That's pretty good.
I turned into Madonna. Express yourself. Crap. That's a different song.
There you go. The
Whatever.
best part